Welcome to Spotlight News. Today we have a special guest, Laura Mascitti. She is here with us. She's in Nashville right now, so we're doing this remote, but she's going to be performing in Maslin starting Monday, July 20th. And we're going to get into that in details in a little bit, but welcome, Lauren.
Thank you so much for having me. And this is such a huge honor. I'm a proud Louisville leopard. I still bleed blue and white.
It's funny, I've said that around different communities. I bleed blue and white. The people from Louisville get it. They know what that means, but it's so great to hear somebody say that, especially when they're living out of town. And we were talking with Lauren off stage a little bit, or off air a little bit, about the fact that we're trying to bring back that local newspaper, and she's going to be in our our third edition, which is coming up this Thursday. And we wanted to get an interview with a big time celebrity, somebody who is right now is a hot star and just signed with North Chapel Music. And we're going to get into all those details. But first, let's talk about how people can come see you on Monday.
Yeah, so I'm going to be performing on July 20th. That's this coming Monday at the Duncan Plaza in Maslin as part of their Maslin Summer Concert Series. And so 6:30 to 8:30, it's just going to be me and a guitar, acoustic, storytelling, couple of hours. I do these kind of shows all the time in Nashville, and we're really excited about coming back up home and getting to see a lot of precious faces and hug a bunch of necks. So I hope to see all my friends there.
Sounds fantastic. Well, I know I'm planning to be there. It's actually my wife and I's anniversary. So we're like, hey, this is a great date night. We can go see some music, then go out to eat
Yay!
afterwards. And so it's going to be perfect for us.
Well, I'm gonna have to think of some songs to dedicate to you guys then.
Well,
Yeah.
right now we're really liking your new album, or your latest album, Out of the Blue.
Thank you
Gives
so
it an
much.
island feel. Right now, luckily in Ohio, we have some warm weather, so we're able to sit out by the pool a little bit, enjoy that music. Talk a little bit about that album, and some of the way what inspired you with that one.
Well, it's funny because as a songwriter, I've been exposed to so many different kinds of music. I do a lot of songwriter festivals, especially down south in Florida and along the coast on the beaches. And even though I was raised in Northeast Ohio, I spent so much time on the beach as a kid with my family, going on like vacations and stuff. And I've always been a beach girl. And so I found out within the last few years doing songwriter festivals down there that there's this whole genre of music dedicated to beach and feel good and like Jimmy Buffett type stuff, Kenny Chesney type stuff, and there's a whole circuit of venues and house concerts and it's just all that type of music, kind of country, kind of beachy, and I was just really inspired by it. And I don't know, I wanted to write my own little batch of beach songs, and it was produced by my dear friend Dean Sams from Lone Star, and he's one of the founding members of the band Lone Star, but he's one of my really good friends and co-writers, and he just did such an amazing job producing. It's an EP. It's called Out of the Blue, and it's pretty much every song on it I wrote except one. And that one, it's called Somewhere in the Caribbean. It was written by the great Paul Overstreet and Scotty Emmerich. Paul is a good friend of mine, and he wrote Forever and Ever Amen. He also wrote She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy. I think it's hilarious that the same person that wrote Forever and Ever Amen wrote She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy. So, but he played that at one of those songwriter festivals, and I'm just like, Paul, I would record that song tomorrow. And not that that remotely meant anything to Paul Overstreet, but fast forward a few years and I did. So, but it's an EP, and the other five songs are songs that I either co-wrote or wrote by myself. So,
Well, they're
yeah.
fantastic. I was listening to them this morning through my Alexa, and I was
Thank
going
you.
through. Some of them are unique with the play on words, like rum pum pum pum, or
Rum
rum
pum
pum pum
pum.
pum. And then my
Yep.
my favorite is somewhere in the Caribbean, and I love that line. It says, "Someone you don't care about seeing." And
Yep. Mm-hmm.
so those are fun to
Seeing and
listen to.
being.
Yeah, yeah. There's some really good things like vitamin C too. I had to look at the title on that one. That it's SEA, getting your
Yeah,
dose of
I
vitamin
thought I was
C.
being so clever that day when I wrote that. And when I introduced it, I'm just like, because I went to Stark State College too, and I'm a registered nurse down here in Nashville. And that's kind of my day job, I'm living that Hannah Montana life. But I always tell everybody, as a nurse, it's my responsibility to tell you what's good for you. And like the best supplement I could recommend is a little bit of vitamin C. SEA.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I loved it. I enjoyed listening to those. And you can anybody that's tuning into our show today can get those through Apple Music. They can get them. They can play it on their Alexa. They can get it from your site. I saw that you even have it on your site.
Yeah, it's on my website. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, all of the things. I have my little link tree posted everywhere on my Instagram and on my Facebook page. But my name, I think you can see it down here. Oh, other side. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah. Mascitti. I know it's not a very phonetically correct name, but not a lot of Italians down here in Nashville. I know there's a lot up in my hometown, but yeah.
Yeah, you kind of have to say that one and spell it kind of like you do Missippi, right? You got
Yeah.
to kind of
Hmm.
sound it out like that. It works out real well. So again, your music, we know, it was especially fun for me to be able to grab that music and know that somebody from our hometown, someone who drank the same water I drink every day, wrote that music. But tell us a little bit about your journey. You're down in Nashville now, which is about 8 hours away from here. I know that you went all in, started at a young age at writing music, and went all in and went to Nashville, and you're working on your dream. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Well, I just want to start out by saying how good God is, because even like kind of in the lows, he's just always kind of sent me little winks and angels to let me know like, nope, just stay the course and I have a plan for you. But I grew up singing in my church at Trinity Gospel Temple. Shout out Brother Dave Lombardi. But I sang in the choir, I led worship in the youth group, and that was a huge part of my musical upbringing. But from the time I was 13 years old, my nana would drive me back and forth between Ohio and Nashville during school breaks and stuff to meet writers down here and play in songwriter showcases. And so I've just been surrounded by an amazing family and friends who have been encouraging and helped cultivate, my music career my whole life, really. But after I graduated with my nursing degree up home, I moved down here and I've been here ever since and just kind of pounding away at it. And back in 2020, I got to be on American Idol, and that was a really exciting time for me, and it opened a lot of doors. Um, I think the day after I got eliminated, I ended up in the top 21 that season. It was back in 2020. And the day after I got eliminated, I had released a independent record called God Made a Woman like a couple months before the show aired. And the morning after I got eliminated, the album itself went to number 4 on the iTunes country chart. The
Wow.
song that I did on the show, God Made a Woman, went to number 13. And as an independent artist, that was like, that really meant a lot. And I know I had a lot of support from my Louisville fam, so that really meant a lot. But I've ever since then I've still been pounding away at it. And a few months ago, I signed my first publishing deal with North Chapel Music, and now I'm getting to work with an amazing staff of song pluggers and writers that I'm writing with for other artists, and it's just been really amazing and inspiring. So, yeah.
That's a great journey. I know you're super excited about writing. So tell us a little bit about, you know, what's your environment? How do you put together writing and a song?
Yeah, well, there's a thing here in Nashville. If you look at song credits on any artist on Spotify, you'll probably see more often than not, especially in today's environment, that there's like more than one songwriter on a song. And we call that co-writing down here. And it's a lot of fun. This town is really collaborative. And on any given day, we'll be booked with usually one or two writers, sometimes more, but it's usually like two or three writers to a write, sometimes four. But we'll go in at 10 a.m. and talk. Usually it ends up being like a therapy session. And we'll talk about things we've gone through and then write about it and come out probably around 2 or 3 p.m. with a fully written song and pray to the Lord that there's an artist out there that wants to record it, or we'll record it ourselves. So, but yeah, that's just kind of what every day looks like. And it's kind of a dream to be able to say that I do this for a living.
I hear you. Thanks for getting that vision inside that window of what it's like to write music, because it kind of reminds me of, I'm a former coach and working in the coach's office with like-minded people trying to come up with a plan for success.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Similar thing. It's fun to be with your people that think the same way or have the same dreams you have and aspirations. That's got to be a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. And it's also like it brings you to an emotional place that you wouldn't ordinarily go to. And I know like they bring a lot of us writers into situations that it really is like a therapy type thing or group development. We have a lot of like corporate events where we'll be pulled in and like write a song with a group of executives or leaders of a company. And there's a lot of times we'll be pulled into a group of like veterans that have gone through a lot, maybe dealing with some PTSD, depression, anxiety, and they'll have us in the room to listen to their stories and then put down on paper kind of what they've been feeling inside. And it's just really therapeutic. And so, besides writing for artists here and trying to get on the charts, a lot of what we do is bringing, musical healing in that way. And that's something that like a lot of people don't even realize we get to do. And it's as therapeutic for us as it is for everybody else. So
That is so cool. Like we just don't get a chance that a lot of us are on, most of us are on the receiving end of music. Okay. And on the receiving end, you get that feeling or that song that clicks or this is my day or this is my experience. And I can identify with that. It's so cool to hear somebody say that's putting it together that you're also constructing the feelings, the therapy, like you said, of putting things together in their life too, and building that way. That's really neat to hear. So as we move on, again, I'm going to be listening to your latest album and next to my pool this summer, throughout the summer. But let's talk a little bit about maybe your roots from Louisville and what anybody from our area that inspired you along your journey.
Oh yeah, for sure. Probably the first name that comes to mind is Jill Stroll. It took me a long time not to call her Mrs. Stroll too. I just have to say, but she was my second grade teacher, and she just played such a huge role in me having any kind of academic success at all. I mean, she was so kind and patient during a time where I had gone through a lot, and she really changed a lot of things for me and is just an angel on earth. I know I'm not the only student she had that has had that experience with her. But huge shout out to Jill Stroll and her husband Larry. They're actually going to be coming to see me here. I have a full band show downtown Nashville at one of my favorite venues in the world. It's the Station Inn on August 21st. And so they're going to be coming down to see me.
That's
And
fantastic.
another one is Mike Galena and Lynette Galena.
Oh yeah.
They're dear friends of mine, like family. Another one is Miss Bull,
Yeah.
Lisa Bull.
That's how actually I got the contact information so that we could set up our interview was through her. She's still a huge
Oh,
fan of you.
I love her so much, and something that happened a couple years ago. It's probably the greatest honor of my life. She nominated me to be put into the Hall of Achievement at Louisville High School. So I got
Fantastic.
to go up home and accept the award and see a lot of my teachers and give a speech, and I got to tell Louisville just how much they've meant to me in my life and what an amazing town I got to grow up in, and see a lot of my teachers tour the high school again. And so it was such a heart payment.
That's
And
fantastic. So
yeah.
when you were talking there, it kind of reminded me, a lot of Louisville people head down to, and actually Northeast Ohio people head down to Nashville. If they were coming down to Nashville, how would they find out where to see you at in terms
Yeah,
of seeing your performances?
yeah, so I have a website. It's just laurenmascetti.com, LaurenMascitti. And I have all my dates listed on there. And like I said, the next full band show I have is on August 21st at the Station Inn. So that'll be so much fun. But besides that, I do play a lot of songwriter rounds down here and acoustic performances. So, but if you can't come to Nashville, I am coming up home on Monday, and you
Absolutely.
can see me in Massillon. So 6:30 to 8:30 at the Duncan Plaza.
Much shorter drive, just straight over
Yes.
to and just as good a quality. I know they got a great summer series over there. We're so happy that you're going to be there. We're also so happy that we were able to have you on as a guest today. So great to see Louisville people being successful, following their dreams, and you're just such a grounded person. You can hear your faith come out in what you say. Just so nice to be able to support somebody that's working so hard and has the right frame of mind.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, it means a lot to me that you guys are keeping, the news station in Louisville going, and so thank you for what y'all are doing too.
Sounds great. Well, we know you're very busy. You got a lot of things going. You're working a job. You're also writing music, singing music, performing. You got a lot going on. We appreciate you taking the time today. We're excited to have you come up to be in Massillon on July 20th. We're looking forward to coming over to see you. And we'll continue to follow your music and follow your journey. And we know it's going to be absolutely successful.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All
Go
right.
Leps.